Z? Just 2 squared plus 6 times 3. Could you tell me that? Because you
Oh,
really want to do this
that's,
you just want to do it in pieces. Like 2 squared is 4.
yeah, I did that. I just thought that was a 4 next to the 6.
Okay.
So
And
I did
it's
6 4 times. So it would be a little less than what I did because I use a calculator. Let's
okay.
see.
Yeah. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the other one. Really like the idea is we can get some, maybe do something do the same thing over here. So we're gonna do 2 times 4 minus 4 times 3. Seems like we're at a little bit of a standstill. Is everything okay there? Any questions on kind of simplifying each of these? And then we've got to multiply the two answers together.
Oh, I got something
Okay.
different.
So yeah, I mean, that's what trying to, like, maybe we should just restart the problem. You're nice and slow. And not, not rush anything here. So let's just do this first part. X squared plus 6z. So x is 2 squared. 2 squared means 2 times 2, that's 4. 6 times z is 6 times 3, that's 18. 4 plus 18 is 22. And that's the progression here. That's how you're going to be able to answer now the other
No,
one is
I just got a different number in my calculator when I was putting it in.
okay. So for the other one here, it's 2y minus 4z. 2 times 4, that's 8. 4 times 3, that's 12. 8 minus 12 is minus 4. So now you're going to
Oh
take,
yeah, it was -4. I was getting -48 last time. I was trying to
okay.
make it be -4.
All right. So you're going to take 22 and multiply it by -4.
88 negative.
-88. Good. All right. Let's take a look at the next one here. All right, if every member of a team is paid $5P for his or her participation, and Team Alpha has 6K members, and Team Beta has 4P members, and Team Delta has 9H members, which of the following represents the total amount paid in dollars to the members of all three teams? Okay, so might have to read it again here, but think of it this way. It's the number, how do I do this here? There's three teams. There's Team Alpha, Beta, and Delta. And Alpha is 6K, Beta is 4P, and Delta is 9H. Let's say we wanted the total number of members. How would we find that if these were numbers? Like, let's say it was really like 60, 40, and 90. How would you find the total number of members? What math operation would you use?
Multiplying?
You're adding them together, right? Like 60 members, 40 members, 90 members. How many members total? You would add these up. Like what is the total membership? That's what this problem is asking you to consider here. So one of the things you might notice right away is there's only one answer where they're added together. C has got 2 added together, but not all 3 of them. Now we can figure out where the other one comes from because each team is paid $5P. That means you're multiplying everything by 5P. So we did some problems like this a while back where you take what's on the outside and you distribute it to what's in the inside. So what I'd like you to do, or we can do it together here, let's take 5P and multiply it by 6K. So you can multiply the numbers together, 5 times 6, that's 30. And then P times K is PK. And then for the next one, you would take the 5 and multiply by the 4. That's 20. But notice it's a P and a P. That's P squared. And then what would the last one be? What would be 5P times 9H?
45pH.
45pH, good. Okay. So I know it looks really complicated, but there's some things we can sort of simplify these types of questions. You're either going to multiply them all or you're going to add them all. Okay, and there won't be anything else to consider. It'll either be an addition type problem or a multiplication type problem. And this one had a little bit of both in it. We'll see another problem like this in 18. All right, let's look at 17 now. All right, so it says, which of the following is equal to this expression here, this horrible expression, okay? And a couple of ways to do this. I think one of the ways would be to sort of figure out, excuse me, like you can look at the answers. Maybe that's overwhelming, but the answers do tell you something. They tell you like, okay, like B doesn't have a 10xy in it, but all the rest of them do. That might be useful there. They also have different values of x. See how like this is 1x minus 3x minus x and 15x. So you can use some things in here to determine which one is correct. The other option is to just sit here and simplify this thing and see what comes out. So let's do that together here. I'm just gonna rewrite it so it's a little bit cleaner to look at here. Okay. So your focus should be in parentheses. So within parentheses here, you have multiplication, subtraction, and addition. Order of operations, you multiply and divide before adding and subtracting. So we can multiply these here. What would 5y times 2x be?
10yx.
10yx or 10xy, good, okay. Now, the minus 9y plus 8x, there's nothing that you can do with those. They just stay the same. Okay, now we haven't used brackets. I don't know that I ever use them, but brackets are like parentheses. So if you recall, we had some problems where you had a negative on the outside. What did we do to everything on the inside when there was a negative on the outside?
Switch sign.
Change the signs, yeah. Okay, so that with that, you can drop the minus 10xy plus 9y minus 8x. Now, do you see any like terms? Any like terms at all here?
X.
7x minus 8x. What does that become?
0.
You've got 7. It can't be 0 because they're not the same number opposite. It's like you have $7, but you owe someone $8.
-1.
Yeah, minus 1x, good. And then you just bring the others down, minus 10xy plus 9y. Here are the answers. Do any of these match what you have written there?
The second one.
This one right here.
No. The first one.
So the first one has positive x. Yours is negative.
The third one.
Yes. Okay, can I give you one like this to do? Maybe a little easier, and then we'll gradually build up to another problem like this.
Mhm.
Okay. So here's one for you to try. Let's say it's 3x minus 2x minus 3y plus 6x. This one's a little bit easier, no multiplication. You've just got to combine like terms inside parentheses here, distribute the negative, and then maybe combine like terms again.
Do I distribute the negative first?
You can. I'm suggesting you might also want to combine like terms first, but you can distribute the negative first. Nothing wrong with that.
The first one be 6x squared.
There's no squares. You're just adding. You're adding. So like in the previous problem.
Wait, I'm not. Oh, I thought it was multiply.
Did you combine like terms first, or did you distribute the negative?
I distributed the negative.
Okay, so let's look at that. 3x minus 2x plus 3y minus 6x. So do you have any like terms? Got 3 of them. but you're just adding and subtracting. You're not multiplying. No exponents are in play here.
-5.
Yep, negative 5x.
And then plus 3y.
Yes. Yes. Questions on that, or can I give you another one or slightly more difficult one? What would be best to help you?
Either one.
Okay, let's do another one here. Let's go 7y minus parentheses 3x times 2y minus 5x minus 3y. So take a look at that. Let me know what you come up with.
Maybe 10y.
Are you talking about like when you're all done, just 10y, or is there other stuff?
Well, minus 5x, but with the y's altogether be 10y.
10y, yes, 10y is for sure in the answer. That's for sure, yes. So in the problem we did from your book, don't forget we did multiply this.
What do we multiply it by?
By each other, 3x times 2y. So it became 6xy. And then this is where you distributed the negative.
Oh wait, that's an x.
Yes.
I thought it was a times sign for some reason. I
Yeah,
was reading it
sorry
as a
about that.
times sign.
Should have made it more clear.
Now what do I do?
Distribute the negative to everything. Change the signs.
Would the first one also be changed?
Yes, everything inside parentheses gets changed. And then it's, are there any like terms, anything?
No.
What about the 7y and the positive 3y? Those are the same. They both have a y in it.
Oh yeah. So that'd be the 10y.
10y, yeah. Okay. Do you want us to move on, or do you want us to do another problem like this?
We can move on.
Okay. So number 18 is much more like the problem 16. The more you do these, the more you'll get comfortable with the idea that you don't have to necessarily be given numbers. It says Stephanie has 5C CDs, 5C. We don't know how many, we're just going to call it 5C. Okay. 5C CDs for every DVD that Alicia has. So that's good to know. And Jeff has 4D DVDs, which is 14 more than Alicia has. How many CDs does Stephanie have? So this one feels really complicated, right? But if we had some numbers, like let's say it was like 50 CDs for every DVD Alicia has, and Jeff has, 40 DVDs, which is 15 more than Alicia has. How many CDs does Stephanie have? We could probably calculate that. But what's hard is that, like, you're like, well, what do I do with the 5C? Okay. And I get it. It's like, what do we do? Okay. So Jeff has 4D DVDs, which is 15 more than Alicia has. Okay. Um, so you're kind of creating like what's called this sort of waterfall relationship. It's like Stephanie to Alicia, and then Jeff also has a reference to Alicia as well. There's kind of like going back and forth. Is any of this clear, or is this just totally unclear?
Mm,
So I guess I'm asking, should we move to a
is
different
it C?
question? Is it C? It's relate. I mean,
Is
so
it A?
I believe, yeah, I believe it's A, because it does have to do with the 4D and the 15 and the 5C. And remember before I said you're either going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide them. So at a minimum, if you were to like multiply these, you would get 20 and 75. So the answer has to have 20 and 75 in it, and there's only one that does. And that's without actually doing any of the calculations. So there is a way to kind of push forward without even knowing what to do.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be I meant to say B. I thought it was gonna be one of the answers with 15 on the end. Because I thought we were gonna be doing something with the 15.
It does, but we're combining with the 5C, so it ends up being,
How do we know how to do that though? When you
well,
read the question.
yeah. So it kind of buried in here is that, okay, so Stephanie has 5 CDs for every 1 DVD that Alicia has. Okay. So if we knew how many DVDs Alicia has, we could answer this question because we would multiply it by 5C. So we know that Jeff over here has 4D DVDs, which is 15 more than Alicia has. So Alicia, or Jeff is 4D minus 15, because he has 15, he has 4 DVDs, but it equals to Alicia plus 15. So Jeff is 4D, but we know that equals Alicia plus 15. So you subtract 15, and that's where the negative comes in, because you're taking this value and multiplying it by this one. Why don't we switch topics to dividing polynomials, which is a problem in 19 and 21, kind of jump away from these other problems, even 24. I think these will make more sense now that we've done some other stuff, but so let me give this a try. Let's just refresh here. Okay, so you were asking for a long time, hey, I got to learn how to divide polynomials, and now we kind of see one, so I've got some idea of what you're being asked to do. When you're dividing, like is the case here, you're dividing each of these by the denominator. You're dividing each one. So it's a lot of writing, but it is this is the case. Okay. Now, the numbers always divide, like 56 divided by 7 is
Um, 8.
8. And then x to the 4th over x squared is x squared. And the reason
Let's
is
see.
you take the 4,
49,
yeah, the next one.
7.
Yes, 7.
What would I do about the exponent?
So with the one with x, the 3, you subtract the 2. So it's 7x to the power of 1. And then the
Did
y
you
just
anything with
comes
the y?
with it.
Mm,
And then same,
84
yeah, 84
and 12.
12
And then an
x.
x.
And how about the last one?
X.
When it's the same on the top and bottom, it becomes 1.
Oh,
7 divided by 7 is 1. X squared divided is 1. Now we look at the answers. This is the most important part. Like, you can't do all that work, get the right answer, and then not choose the right one. So just take your time here and make sure you select the one that's best.
B.
Yes. Up. No, B has a cube here. It also has an
Oh,
x cube there, so that's not going to work.
but none of those look like. There's.
The answer is here. So like, try to do it by process of elimination. Like, do you see how only A and C have a -1 in there? So you can eliminate B and D. And that will help you on the test. You know, when you cross some out, you're like, okay, I'm not going to look at those anymore. What's the difference between A and C, and which one could it be?
A.
It is A. Good. All right. Now, 21 is really similar. Oops. So this one, you're going to divide each of these by 2y squared.
What do I do with the first one?
Can't do anything, so you leave it be. Second one you can reduce. What does that become?
And then 2y. Or no, 2x squared. Y squared.
Good.
And then 4. I don't know what you would do. XY squared.
Yeah, you leave the x on top and the y on the bottom.
No.
So if it there's nothing to do, you just leave it where it was. How about the
And the
last
same
one?
thing with the last one?
The y's cancel,
Oh,
and there's really a 1 on top.
two?
1/2, 1/2,
Oh.
because there's still a 1 on top and a 2 on the bottom. Okay. Now, this is your answer. Let me snip in the multiple choice here.
Why would it be 1/2? Do you leave it the same?
There's a 1 on the top. 1 divided by 2 becomes 1 divided by 2. The y squareds cancel. They for sure cancel, but you've got to leave whatever's on the top, and there's always a 1 in the numerator. All right, so let's take a look at the answers on the left here. Do any of them look like what you have on the right?
A?
A, yeah. And notice that we actually didn't have to do a bunch of work because A is the only one that's even reasonable. All the rest are weird. Like you have to divide each of them by the value. Okay, we're gonna look at 24, part of 24, the first part, and ask you to do this first stuff here in 24. Okay, so I want you to do like we've been doing, divide each of these by 11x squared. And let me know what you come up with, and then we'll do the rest of the problem.
Mm, 4x. 4x4?
Good.
And 5x y4.
Good.
8. Mm, 1
The
x what?
sometimes you got to write it out so you can see it here. What cancels in this case? What cancels?
The 11.
The 11, but you still have a y squared minus, or y squared over x squared.
Mm.
Now the rest of the problem, which I didn't snip in, it has this off to the side here. Okay, so with what I've got here, do you see any like terms? Is there anything you can combine?
The x4
That one, and then
and
there's,
the 8.
yes. Okay, so tell me what happens with the 4x to the fourth and the 6x to the fourth, negative.
It's -2.
X to the fourth,
Yeah.
and
And then 5xy. And then, yeah, the 8 minus 8.
really good, really good. So the challenge now again is, okay, you did all that, great. You still got to grab the correct answer.
C.
It is C. Good. Okay. One of the things I wanted to say is that oh, there it is. I was looking for more of these. Like, where's the other ones? Okay. We can do 30. 30 is a lot like this. Okay. This one looks really bad. It looks like it's impossible to do. But again, just like the others, you are going to set it up so that you're dividing each one by x plus y. which is they're trying to make this look worse than it actually is, because once you divide it, and once you even do a better job like than I did of lining things up, you can see the cancellations. Like what cancels in the first one over here on the left?
X and Y's.
Those cancel. How about here?
Would they cancel on all of them?
They do. So, but on the bottom here, it only cancels with one of those, and then it cancels with both of those. Okay. Now, this is we're going to do a little test taking strategy here, because the next thing to do here is to kind of rewrite here 4x squared minus 2 x plus y x minus y minus xy, like this. Okay. And you actually want to always kind of look ahead to the answers here. And do you see that two of them have a 4x squared in it?
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's down to B or C. When you look at B and C, what's the main difference between them?
The sign.
Yes, it's plus XY or minus XY. What do you have?
Minus.
Yeah, and that's enough to determine which is the correct answer. Okay, so here's one for you to look at. Actually, yeah, let's see, all right, so here's one for you to look at. Really similar to the last.
It would cancel out all the x2s and 3s, except for it only do one in the second row. Or no.
Right, they're all going to cancel. Like basically, imagine this without the it's so what's left over is the 3x minus the 2x. But what about here? What are you minusing? It's not 0. What really goes here?
1.
1. So could you simplify just that stuff there?
Would it be a 1x or just 1?
Well, so you said 3x minus 2x minus 1. What does that simplify to?
X minus 1.
X minus 1. So which would be the correct choice?
D.
D. Good. All right. So let's see if we can quickly look at the square problem. We did this the other day. So here's the square. Are there any values here? Let's take a look and see if there's any values here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to see. Okay. So in the lower row, see how this is 20? It's 4 times 5 gets you to 20. Do you see that? 4 times the 5 gets you, okay. So then the next number, and this is important, 4 times AB, 4 times AB is going to equal this number here. Okay, so 4 times AB is equal to 40.
So it's 10?
Yes. So that actually means that AB equals 10. This is really 10. Okay, so that's gonna help us here. If we want, I mean, depending on the problem here. So we've got like, this is 10A now. This is 10C. And then this is 5C. And then we've got a cubed here, and then 4a squared down here. Now the last one here is c times a squared equals 8b. That's not super helpful, but that is kind of the progression here for these types of problems. Oh, we know that this is a 10 also. So that helps you to find a, because 5 times a gets you to 10. So we end up finding that a is 2. And that allows you to find the rest of the square here. So let's actually restart this, because I think this is probably confusing the way I did it. So let's just do it one more time here. So we said that 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times AB equals 40, which means that AB is 10. So this cell right here is now 10. So to find A times 5, 5A is going to equal 10. That means that A is 2. So that's 2. And that allows us to find A squared. 2 squared is 4. And we already know that AB is 10. So that's really going to help us a lot here, because we know that 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 10 is 20. Okay. And then we know that this, this last one here, 4C equals 8B, if we need it. We're not sure if we're going to need it. Okay. But you can see here, let me snip in one of the questions. It does ask you for the value of A. So we saw this in another problem here. Seems like we're going to see a few of these. You know, they asked for the value of A. We found that A is 2. And we've got the right answer. All right. Well, I hope this helped. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not